Hello po, welcome po sa ating market briefing. So to start, let me share my screen with you. Ayan, we start with euro. So euro po tayo ngayon. Just like what we always do, we look at the daily chart before we look at the lower time frame charts. Pasensya na po, medyo nagluluko po yung ating connection ngayon. Medyo nagbabagal na hindi ko maintindihan yung connection ng Converge. So kung napansin nyo, ito yung daily chart ng euro sa ngayon. If you notice, pababa pa rin siya. Kasi if you give this a closer look, it is now trying to break dito sa support na to. This support area here comes from this one. So if you are going to draw a horizontal line coming from this line, ito po yung kanyang support po ngayon. Yan. So kung lalawakan mo pa yan, obviously, it is a strong support, lalong-lalo na at nasa daily siya, naging significant support siya dito. So you expect that it will be a significant support dito at dito. Now the question is, this time, will it hold or not? So that is what we are going to find out through our smaller time frame. So yung smaller time frame po natin, it will answer for us if there is a chance for the support to break this time. So kung titingnan po ninyo ngayon, kung titingnan nyo yung market action ngayon or yung price action, will it break or not yung support mo? So far, wala namang walang nagsasabi na paakyat yung ating presyo. So ang nangyayari, nagko-consolidate siya ngayon dito malapit sa trend line na to. This might be a consolidation before the breakout. So I am not saying that it is a guaranteed consolidation before the breakout, but it is most likely that it is a consolidation before the breakout na price action. Lalong-lalo na if you notice, yung highs mo ay pababa ng pababa, but you have a constant support area here, which is now, kung papansinin mo, kung titingnan mo lang siya ng through your price patterns, ito po yung magiging labas ng price pattern mo. So nagiging triangle with the flat side po siya. So ito po yung flat side, ito po yung nagiging price pattern mo ngayon. So normally when you have a flat side, it is always on the flat side where the price usually breaks out. So pag nag-break out po yan, dadangkalin mo lang kasi ang na-form dito is you may want to think of it as flag formation or as wedge formation. Pareho naman pong akma dun sa natin yan, sa pantahan natin sa price action. So kung flag yan or pennant formation, it really does not matter. What matters here is the price action na pwede niya, price level na pwede niyang abutin. So we are expecting it to hit at least 1650 pag ito ang nag-break. Pag bumigay po ito, 1650 po ang pwede niyang puntahan. So yung cut loss natin dito is now at 4.69. Ay, bakit? I'm sorry, gold yung Oh my God. Yeah, gold pala yung dinidiscuss ko sa inyo, ano? So it's 1650 yung pwede niyang puntahan. Sorry, nasabi ko euro kanina because I was thinking that it was euro. I if I remember it right, dinala ko naman sa euro chart. Pero nagtataka lang ako bakit gold yung nandun ka no. So let's start with gold, no? So yung gold natin, what we can do pagka ganito ang presyo is we try to find in the smaller time frame kung saan tayo pwedeng mag-sell kasi we are thinking that it's going to be a selling opportunity for gold. So sa ngayon, nung ginagawa siya about an hour or two ago, dito po yan, nandito pa lang ang presyo. So if we were thinking, ito yung tinitingnan natin na area of value niya. But this afternoon, pagka nag-start na pong gumalaw ng gumalaw yan, try to, if the price becomes accelerated, then you can choose the 26-day moving average as your area of value. Ibig sabihin, dyan yung pipiliin mong entry price. So for the purposes of guiding us, ilalagay muna natin ngayon dito kasi nung ginagawa natin to, ito yung naging guide natin. Because nandito yung presyo, ito yung guide natin. So this is 1686. 1686, ang target is 1661. Tapos ang cut loss natin is 1696 kasi $10 po ang ATR natin. So this one, the 1661 can also be 1650 kasi yung target mo dito is 1650 po. Ayan. So kung titingnan natin dito, yan, nasa 1650 area, no? So I'll just put a note here. Can extend target to 1650 area. Yan. Pero ang pinaka conservative na pwede niyang marating today is 1661. Yan. So kung wala na pong question, we can now move on sa euro. Ayan, so nasa euro po tayo. Medyo mabagal lang talaga. Please bear with me sa kabagalan ng ating internet, ano, because ang Converge ngayon medyo pumapagong na rin. So ang euro sa daily niya ay down pa rin because of yesterday. It was a belt line, no? Mas mahaba ang real body kesa sa kanyang shadow. So most likely today is also a down market. So if you look at the smaller time frame chart where you will be looking for your area of value to get into the market, ang tinitingnan natin kasi is selling, di ba? Pero since nandito ka ngayon, hindi po advisable ang mag-sell at this area. Kahit selling yung signal ng daily mo, ngayong araw, ngayong oras na to, it is not advisable to sell. Kasi po, nasa support line ka. Anong PWA? San po, paano po? Siguro I think Joseph meant paano, no? So paano po ang guhit na yan? Trend line po itong mga guhit na to. So ang trend line, you just connect two highs or two lows and you will be able to come up with the trend line. Your trend line can serve as either support or resistance. Yung mga significance ng trend lines, we discussed that on our Saturday classes. So try to attend yung Saturday classes. So itong trend line natin na ito, this now represents a downtrend channel. So here, although pababa ang basa mo ng market, meron kang support dito because of your trend line, huwag kang mag-sell dito kasi ang mangyayari niyan, you might be selling at the support and you do not want to do that because the price will have a tendency to go up. What you will do here is wait for the price to correct at least at these price levels, either here, here, or here. Ano po? So pagka nag-correct po yan, ang ilalagay mo ngayon sa note mo when you are going to trade euro is sell on rallies. Either to hourly EMA 26 or EMA 50 or your TL trend line. Yan, so hourly po lahat yan na EMA 26, EMA 50 or your trend line. So sa ngayon, nakalagay lang siya dito sa ating 1749 kasi yung 1749 po, this is where we expect the price to be at least this afternoon. Ngayon po, ang presyo po kasi ay nasa 1710. So we are expecting, ay nako, o 10 years na naman ito. Salamat at hindi. So ine-expect natin na mag-correct ang price hanggang dito mamayang hapon before it will again try to go down or it will try to see first kung magre-reversal dito. Kung hindi siya magre-reversal dito, ibig sabihin didiretso yan dito. So try to see some reversal signals before you get in the market this afternoon. Anong reversal signal? Tulad po nito, this is an engulfing pattern. Yan, nag-hit yung mo, na-hit yung 50-day moving average mo. Kung hindi ka sure na engulfing pattern ito at mas alam mo ang bar chart, then you go to your bar chart. At makikita mo sa bar chart mo, this is an outside day formation. So kung outside day po yan, reversal po yan. Ibig sabihin, bababa yung susunod na mga bars. Yun po ang ating hahanapin dito sa area na to pagka tumuntong po ang presyo dyan mamayang hapon. Ano po? So, ang ating recommendation is sell at 1749, take profit at 1602, at ang cut loss mo ay 1772. Kung wala na pong tanong dyan, we can now move on sa ating next na currency which is the British Pound USD. So, yung British Pound naman, pababa pa rin siya. Kasi kung titingnan mo to, spinning top, umabot dito, tapos lower highs, lower lows, tapos kung papansinin mo pa siya, eksakto ito dito sa magkapareho lang sila, yung support dito, your support here, because this is a head and shoulder po ito, ano po? Yan. Yan yung neckline mo. So naging resistance ngayon to. So ang ano natin sa head and shoulder, pagka nagbe-break siya, babalikan niya yan before it goes down to the target. At yung target po niyan ay by mere approximation, ka-level niya ito. So kung ayaw mong mag-approximate, edi yan, dangkalin mo, ang tatahakin niya ay ito which is very very near here. Before you can even expect it to hit this price, ito muna. So the price might fall up to this level. The low is 36.70. Kaya po nakalagay dito 36.70. Yan po. So ang cut loss mo naman ay 37.84 at ang entry price mo ay 37.44. Kasi yung 37.44 po, yun po yung pwede po niyang correction hanggang mamayang hapon, no? So if it may correct up to 37.44 kasi huli na po tayo. Ibig sabihin, we should have entered or naglagay dapat tayo ng pending order dito mismo. Kasi alam naman natin na magko-correct yan dito. Hindi naman sa siguradong sigurado, pero by experience, we should know by now that this is a head and shoulder. Nag-break siya, magko-correct. Pagka-break niya, magko-correct yan, tapos saka uli pupunta sa direction ng initial price objective. So yung price objective mo ay ito, which is based from here, based from the length of the head down to the neckline. So yan po. So ang recommendation natin is you get in at this price. So since hindi ka nakapasok dyan, mag-antay ka ng correction ngayon dito sa mga moving averages mo if the price will accelerate. So kung wala na pong tanong sa British Pound, we can now go to the next Commonwealth of Nations na currency, which is the Australian dollar. Kung napansin po ninyo, halos magkasintulad lang sila ng British Pound. Magkasintulad, ibig sabihin, nag-break sila sa, kasi di ba ito ay ang Australia is a satellite, parang you may want to call it satellite, no, pero it's not really a satellite, but it's also a member of the Commonwealth of States ng Commonwealth. It is a Commonwealth state ng Commonwealth of Nations. So this one is a broadening formation. So yung broadening formation mo, nag-break out ka, yung target mo sa broadening formation mo, the widest gap of the broadening formation, you project it from the point of breakout. There you go. Yan yung point of breakout mo ngayon. Yan yung target mo ngayon. But since yung target mo ay meron naman siyang halos kasabay na target dito para sa isang rounding top formation, since naabot na yan, ito na ngayon ang i-consider mo. So itong level na to is 75.63. So if you sell at this level, itong correction niya na dito, you enter at 76, 17 area. So 76, 17, hindi 18. 76, 17, ang target mo is 75.63. Saan galing yung 75.63? Dito po sa low po nito. Yan. Yung low niyan is 75.63. It may hit that anytime today. Ano po? So ang cut loss mo is 76.45. Kung wala na pong tanong dyan, tayo naman ay dadako sa USD/JPY. Yung USD/JPY naman natin, kung papansin mo yung daily chart mo, ay, naku, ang tagal talaga. Yan. So kung papansinin mo yung daily chart mo, paakyat pa rin siya. Paakyat po yan, malayo pa ang tatahakin niya kasi kabe-break lang niya sa flag formation. Ano po? Yung daily mo, nagkaroon ka ng flag formation. Ito yung target mo. Ay, ito yung measuring implication mo. Dito ngayon ang target mo. Yan. So, bago niya marating yung target mo na 113, ito muna ang mga pagdadaanan niya. Ito muna ang mga magiging balakid sa kanyang pag-akyat. So, itong level na to is 111.71. The next balakid is 112.22. Bago niya marating yung target na 112.90, 94. 113 ka mo na lang flat. So, ang gagawin mo ngayon is you look for area of value where you can buy. Dito may nakita ka bang area of value where you can buy? 'Di ba parang kung tutuusin mo, ito dapat 'yon. Yan po. So kung medyo ipipilit mo siya, dito ka ngayon magkakaroon ng yan. So yan dapat yung area of value mo. Any correction towards this level will be an area of value to buy your Japanese yen. So dito ngayon, nandito na siya, most likely, kung titingnan mo kasi no, ang galaw between 60, 110.60 to 110.06. That's almost a day's movement. So, aantayin mo bang mag-correct ng the whole day or gagawa ng galaw for the whole day bago ka puposisyon? Siyempre hindi. Ang aantayin mong correction niya ngayon is again, you go to smaller time frame because ang involved na movement dito ay days action na yon. So ngayon, if you go to smaller time frame, dito makikita mo na pagka nag-correct siya to 1110.41 or 1110.40, kasi an hour ago, nag-correct po siya hanggang dito. Pag-correct po niya dito, umakyat po uli siya. So ngayon, nasa gitna na naman ang presyo. Ano ang gagawin mo ngayon? Ang gagawin mo, mag-aantay ka mag-correct uli siya dito. So pagka nag-correct yan sa 1110.40, lagay na lang natin 1110.40 po sa ngayon. Ano? Sorry, hindi po 15-30 minutes ang gusto kong makita. It should have been this. So nasa 1110.49. Ang inaantay ay yan tama 1110.40 because ito puro sa EMA 50 sila. Medyo hindi po mabilis ang akyat ng presyo sa ngayon. So probably it might correct up to 1110.40. So ito 1110.40. Tapos ang take profit mo is 110.71. Medyo malayo po yan. Medyo aabot yan ng 2 araw. So if you want to be conservative about it, you try to take the low of the day. Alamin mo yung low of the day, which is 110.27 plus 60 pips, which is the ATR for the day. So 110.27 plus 60 is 110.87. So kaya po, ang pwede mong take profit dito is 110.87. Yan po yung unang take profit mo before here. Ilagay na lang natin dito. Yan. So I hope clear po sa atin yan. Ano? Tapos ang cut loss natin is 110.15. So kung wala na pong tanong dyan, lipat na po tayo sa gold. Sa gold naman po, nasa support na naman siya. So yung support po dito sa gold is, ano tong support na to? It's 1676.73. So kung titingnan mo yan, kagabi nag-low ba siya ng 1676? So nag-low ng 1678.63. So malapit dun sa in-anticipate mong low. So if you are going to study yung galaw ng ano ngayon ng gold, pwede ba siyang umakyat kasi nasa support na siya? Pwede, in all likelihood, pwede po siyang umakyat. Pero pwede din siyang tumuloy-tuloy ng pagbaba. So what you do is you look for the behavior of the price in your smaller time frame. Titingnan mo kung merong nabe-break na market structure. Ibig sabihin, kung meron nang nagbabadya ng pag-akyat sa smaller time frame. Meron na ba? Wala pa naman. Kung titingnan mo sa smaller time frame nito, just to be sure, sa hourly mo, meron na bang namumuo na market structure na pagbe-break ng pag-akyat? Wala pa rin, di po ba? Sa bagkus ay may nagpo-form na, ba't ko naman din, I think I have discussed this. Yes, I've discussed it a while ago. Ito pala yung unang diniscuss natin, gold. So tapos na po tayo sa gold because this was the first topic that we have discussed kanina po. So kung wala na pong katanungan dyan, we can now move on sa ating economic calendar. So the things that we can expect today sa China, ang dalawang pula. Sa Australian side, wala naman pong pula, lumabas na nga lahat. It was better than expected, credit better, private sector, credit, year on year better sila kasi lumiit. Ang nangungutang, building permit, mas dumami, so that is good for the Australian dollar. Hindi ko po alam kung legit ang multi-bank group or other groups because I can only speak for the brokers that I know of, ano. So yung multi-bank, hindi ko po sila kilala, so I cannot tell anything about their reputation. Marami naman pong mga available sources sa internet. You can go to Forex Army, they give out reviews sa mga different forex brokers. So ang importante diyan, you do your due diligence when you are investing in a certain broker house kasi ang importante po dyan is makapag-withdraw po kayo at hindi po kayo nadadaya sa presyo nyo every time na mag-trade po kayo. So yun lang naman. Ang bottom line is yun, hindi itatakbo ang pera nyo. So,
sir, good morning po.
Yes, sir, good morning po.
Question ko lang po sana yung about sa China or Chinese currency. Ano po kaya yung mga currency na magiging affected sa news na yan?
What do you mean po? Magiging active sa?
Yung mga apektuhan po ng currency China. Doon po sa news ng China, ano po ba yung mga currency na maapektuhan? Pati po ba yung mga USD pairs?
Ang China kasi, it has become the leading trading partner ng halos lahat, halos lahat ng bansa namimili sa China ngayon. So parang yan yung sinasabi nila, when China sneezes, everybody gets the flu. So nagkakaroon ng epekto yan sa iba't ibang in terms of their trading volume, pero yung currency niya, yung to directly for the Chinese yuan to have a direct impact on the currency of other currencies, China is not that fully integrated when it comes to currency trading with the other currencies, primarily because ang history ng Chinese currency, hindi po siya tinetrade dahil fixed peg po ang pinanggalingan ng Chinese currency. Kaya po, when you are referring to the forex market, hindi po siya, kung ano man ang mga nangyayari sa China ngayon, hindi po siya gaanong nakakaepekto. I am not saying na hindi nakakaepekto, but it does not have a very direct impact sa mga ibang currencies. Hindi po siya nagkakaroon ng impact in the way a euro would impact a dollar or a British pound would impact a euro, kasi po hindi po siya involved naman talaga sa currency trading, ang Chinese currency, because nobody would want to trade a currency na alalahanin po natin na ang karamihan po sa mga ang forex market po, or when we are sa atin po sa ngayon, when we are referring to forex market, we usually refer to the CFDs. So yung CFD, if you are referring to the CFD volume, hindi po siya masyadong nagkakaroon ng effect sa CFD volume ng forex trading. So ayun po.
So, sir, okay lang po na mag-trade po. I mean, okay lang po na hindi siya i-avoid yung oras po na yan na lalabas na yung news ng China.
Opo, kasi po itong data coming from China, hindi naman po siya masyadong nakaka-epekto sa currency markets natin, because we all know that ang China, kahit na anong meron kasing parang silent agreement or standing agreement, hindi naman agreement, but there is a standing understanding among the group of nations that ang mga data na lumalabas galing ng China ay hindi masyadong, lalong-lalo na yung mga economic data nila, they do not treat it with absolute respect, So parang lagi nilang iniisip, ay naku, padded yan, ay naku, gawa-gawa yan ng Communist Party. So parang ganon, parang everything in China kasi, ang tingin ng outsiders, lahat ng data sa China ay napapad. Lahat ng data sa China ay pwedeng dinidictate ng Communist Party, ng ruling Communist Party. So ang inaano nila, they still wait for tendency for the forex participants is they still wait for another confirming data na ito ngang data na ito is reliable or not. So yun po ang ano nila. Because at the end, what will really matter for the other countries is the monetary policy that will be taken by China. Hindi po because that will have a direct effect on the volume of the global trading of forex market. So yun po yung... Okay po, salamat po. I hope it comes clear across to everyone, po. So yung explanation po natin that you don't have to put on much attention sa mga data ng some countries, because they just don't have a direct effect on the currency that you will be trading. Of course, if you will be trading currencies such as yuan, which is in direct relation with China, because it's the currency of China, then of course, magiging volatile yan depending on the data dito. But if it is a currency that does not have much to do with China, so syempre, hindi rin po ganun ka-volatile yung mangyayari dun sa currency. So ang ine-expect lang natin for this afternoon is we have gross domestic product from the UK side. So expect a quite volatility sa UK currency, lalong-lalo na po mamayang 2:00, no? Ang ano naman dito, usually when you talk about gross domestic product, because it is lagging indicator. Lagging indicator kasi hindi ibig sabihin nagtotroso siya, lagging as opposed to a front leading indicator. Ang ibig sabihin kasi ng leading, it leads the other indicator. Meaning, if there is a bad reading on that leading indicator, the lagging indicators will follow. So ang gross domestic product is actually an accumulation of the preview of the leading indicators. So itong usually ang mga consensus sa gross domestic product ay accurate naman because it is based on the previous releases of the leading economic indicators. So ibig sabihin, bihira po ang surprises sa gross domestic product. Kasi nga po, napag-aaralan na dati ang possible result nito because of the leading indicators that are released prior to the release of the gross domestic product. So ang mga iba pang pula dito mamayang hapon ay ang Consumer Price Index, which is an inflation index sa Europe. Sa ngayon po kasi tinitingnan pa rin ang inflation. They are trying to monitor the inflation index in the European continent because of the European Union region because of the possible na effect ng mga quantitative easing that they are doing like right now in relation to the pandemic, ano? So yun pa rin yung tinitingnan nila. Kaya po nagiging pula po ngayon ang inflation index. So magkakaroon ng speech si Biden mamaya. Again, it will give some hints on whether what the US will take as a stance regarding the pandemic or regarding the COVID situation that they have there, or regarding the quantity, ano ba yung aid na stimulus package that they have already signed, no, sa US, or how will they go about it. So yun yung mga possible na tinitingnan ng market. Mga hints on where they are going to, how they are going to spend the stimulus package. So napag-usapan naman po yan, pero if there are new points that are going to be raised by Biden, surely the market will react. So employment change, ito yung number ng tao na data that refers to increase or decrease in the number of people who are employed. So ngayon po ang sinasabi nila, ang consensus, if they have an increase of 550K. So ibig sabihin, nagdagdag ng trabaho. Ang ine-expect nila may dagdag. Pagka yan po ay walang dagdag, magre-react na naman ang market. So tomorrow, wala na po. Tomorrow will not have ano naman, no? So because we are expecting a thin trade tomorrow. So ayan po, that ends our fundamental analysis discussion with respect to the economic indicators that will be coming out today. So maraming salamat po, and maraming salamat, and hope to see you all next week po.